I Archmade, probably the best way to go about this is just to go through um, the various layers. So you seem to think it was on different pages. It's not. It's just on this one page index. There's no other pages in the file at all. And if we look at the mouse off layer, it would appear that there's, apart from the letters, instructions and the photograph, that's all there is. But there isn't, as I'll show you in a minute. But first and foremost, this photograph here has a transparency of 56.5% flat transparency. If I remove that, you can see that's what the original image looks like, and that's what you see later on when you mouse over. You get this full colour version of that particular part of the image that you're highlighting. So I'll undo that. That's 56. This is just the instructions pop-up layer. Right. So that's all there is on that page. Then you'd have a mouse over layer. No, I'll stay on the mouse off layer, because on here that you can't see unless you go to wireframe are these 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. And on most, if I look at this rectangle, it's got also has a transparency of 99%. All of those should have a 99% transparency. There they've got 99%. If I bring that up and then raise that colour, you can then see those things. But where they were 99 transparent, they're not obvious at all. So that's a good way of making links and buttons that don't look obviously like links and buttons. So let's go back to that. So we'll leave those like that. This one here links to a pop-up layer, and anything above the mouse over layer is a pop-up layer. So here we have instructions, door, tower, cat and gables. So here we have that these buttons. That one links to the cat, that one links to the pop-up layer tower, this one links to pop-up layer gables, and this one links to pop-up layer door, and this one links to pop-up layer instructions. So we know what each one does now. I'll leave these without any transparency at the moment, so there you can see them in full sight, and we'll look at them in the mouse overlayer. The problem I've got there, so let me just mouse over these and I'll make them semi-transparent like that. Right. Now if we look over the mouse overlayer, you can see that on the mouse overlayer they have these borders which are just a rectangle with no fill and a red stroke at 4 pixel points and the word tower. And similarly over here you've got a red rectangle, no fill, red stroke with cat. This one has red rectangle, gables. This one has the red rectangle and door. If I hide those, you can see what the buttons are, but you can't see the text unfortunately because it's white. But I could change that. That's that. So I'll switch that down. So let's just have a quick preview, and you can see the buttons, but as you'll appreciate later on that the actual buttons will at 99% transparency will not be visible. You'll just see the pop-up layer indicating something else to do. So that's what happens before you click. Right, so you see that. So let's go along and just put this 99% transparency back on, so they're no longer there. And again, as I say, just preview it. And what you get is when you mouse over parts of it, just does that. Okay, indicating there's something, because all I'm doing is mouse overing at the moment. I'm not clicking. Right, so we've got that far. Let's put that down. And then let's next look into what happens on the pop-up layer. Okay, so let's just have a look at the door layer. So if I just select here, in this door layer, there's this text on here on the right hand side, and there's that bit there. I don't know if I hide that. Yeah, that you can quite clearly see. But this should be down a bit lower. That's neither here nor there. But on this layer door, you just have door and the text, and you've got this image here. It's only a cutout of the previous image, and the best way of doing that is if we go into the mouse off layer and click that mouse off, click this bitmap 31 that's numbered at the moment, and then you go edit, copy. Then I'll go into the door layer, Control Shift V, and what I'm going to do at the moment with this, because I've already done this bit here. Well, why can't I get hold of that? Just do that, and I'm going to remove the transparency. I'll put none, and because we're dealing with the door, I just want the door highlighted, so I can cut it roughly just by using the shape tool, going down like this. Up like that, that shape. Click that. So I've got two selected, and it's arrange, combine shapes, intersect shapes, Control+3. You intersect shapes, so I'll just use the shortcut Control+3, and that just leaves that. And if I add some feathering to it, just to make it like that, that's how I made this original door there. So that's what's got to show up in this pop-up layer. You're better off optimizing that photograph. Optimize, and that will be like that. Otherwise it can get too big. So let's have a look now on this door label. We'll go back to mouse off, we'll hide that label, and let's see how it works on the door. So we'll preview it, right? Then we'll preview that now. There it is. If we click down on the door, there's door. If the mouse is over it, says door and highlights the area. When I click on it, it opens that. You can still see the photograph in the background on mouse off, and you can still see the mouse over buttons because they're still visible in the background. But you've now got this door highlighted, and the door text, and etc. And if you want, I'll do that one more time for the second one. So I'll select that, edit, copy, and let's say we want to do the cat this time. So go up there. That's the cat bit. It just has this cut out photograph of the cat and the text about the cat. All right. So I'm going to delete that. Control Shift and V to paste that image back in again. Remove the flat transparency, and we just want one with a cat. So I'll select that. I'm going to use with the shape tool. I'll just look around here, just like that, just like that, like that. Hit enter. Right. Shift click on selecting that house. Control +3, which is arrange, combine shape, intersect shape, and you get that shape. I'll optimize that photo. Optimize, yeah. And so you've got this cat, and you've got your text and cat. So let's see how that goes now. So I'm going to go back to the mouse off layer. Make sure the mouse off layer is that. And we can now preview and test. And we mouse over as we want. Then we click on the cat, and it shows the cat. What I didn't do is I didn't feather it. It looks a lot better feathered. So let's go back into the cat layer. Select that. Feathering. Like that. Don't know if I need to optimize it again, but I'll optimize it. Right, go back to the mouse off layer. Back to preview. Cat, and see, yeah, the feathering helps just to add the colour more on these things. So basically it's just rinse and repeat from there on in each layer. You can do it as many times as you want. I'll leave that for a minute. Yep, so one final thing we're talking about might help. If, say, we go into the tower section, I'll turn the mouse off for a minute. You can just see we've got this tower, and which is cut out from the picture and the text. Say you wanted to add something else to this image. I'm going to go utilities, insert from elements, stock illustration, and I've got Gould here, and I'm going to select him and import it. So we can cut that down in size like that. Give that a bit of a transparency, down the way. Then arrange, create bitmap, copy, alpha, create. Delete that now because that's a vector image. We don't want the vector image, so we can delete that. We've got this one here. Whoops, didn't want a copy of it. Optimize that. Optimize. There, you've got that there. So we can then go back to mouse off. Mouse off. Give that a test. Tower, let's put the tower, and you've got this. You've added a Gould to it, so that's, you can do that as much as you want. Doesn't have to be exactly in that window. If we go to the tower and just put him up there like that, try that, you've got that. So anyway, that's basically how it's done, and I hope that helped you. And if you have any problems, get back to me. This is Egg. All the best. Cheers. Bye.